Picture this. Monday morning. You badge in, coffee still too hot to drink. Where your CEO's portrait used to hang, there's now a glowing 80-inch dashboard. Revenue targets, attrition risk, leadership performance scores. A calm, synthetic voice says, "Good morning. Based on current projections, your unit will be restructured this quarter. Please submit clarifying questions in the portal." No town hall, no Q&A, no, "We're all in this together." You didn't vote for this, boss. You can't negotiate with it. You can't read its body language. But it decides your pay, your schedule, and whether you still have a job next year. Here's the knife under all the feel-good AI headlines. What happens when executives automate themselves, but keep the power and the money? And if they don't do it, what happens when their biggest competitor does it first? Stick with this, and you'll see how an AI CEO could actually show up, step by step. Why the incentive to build one is enormous. What it means for your job, your rights, and who you can hold to account. And one twist no glossy keynote touches. When an AI CEO wrecks people's lives, who do you actually point to? You already feel the double standard. Executives taking home tens of millions, pay packages hundreds of times the median worker, layoffs branded as cost discipline, followed by record bonuses at the top. That frustration isn't just emotional, it's arithmetic. If one person costs as much as a small town of workers, why is that the one role never on the automation list? Because look where AI is aimed instead. Call centers and support, junior engineers and analysts, designers, copywriters, assistants, parts of medicine, law, and education, all roles that earn a fraction of C-suite pay. The bottom is disrupted, the top is visionary. So your quiet question becomes, if everything else is under the axe, why not them? Once you see that cost imbalance, an AI CEO stops being sci-fi and starts looking like a spreadsheet trick, just waiting for a brave or desperate board. And that takes us to where the first one actually appears. You won't wake up to a Fortune 50 press release saying, "We fired our CEO and installed GPT Boss 3000. Too visible, too regulated, too easy to mock. Instead, picture a mid-sized company or aggressive startup. Margins are thin. The founder is burned out. Investors want growth without new headcount. Someone walks into a board meeting and says, "Most CEO work is structured decision-making, spreadsheets, KPIs, risk models, compliance rules, investor decks. Call it decision intelligence. We can simulate options 24/7. No ego, no scandals, no $25 million parachute. Just cloud compute." If you were on that board, would you really not even test it? The temptations write themselves. No golden parachute, no personality cult or PR drama, built-in scapegoat. The system made the call, we updated the model. Now imagine a logistics startup pitching investors. Our AI executive layer optimizes pricing, routes, and hiring in real time. That's why our costs are 20% lower. If that stock pops, even for a quarter, what do you think shows up on your competitor's strategy slide deck? The first AI CEO doesn't have to be a genius. It just has to look cheaper and more data-driven than the human in the corner office. And once one player claims the edge, the game shifts for everyone else. If you're finding this analysis of the future of work valuable, make sure to subscribe. We break down the hidden incentives behind technology every week. Here's the twist. You don't need a fully autonomous robo-CEO for your life to feel like you have one. Once a few AI-led companies are hailed as success stories, copycats don't announce, "We replaced leadership." They quietly do this. Managers check what the system recommends before approving budgets, promotions, or schedules. Hiring, firing, and rankings lean on algorithmic scores. Strategic plans are drafted by models, then lightly edited and signed. On paper, there's still a human CEO. In practice, the chain looks like you, your manager, AI decision system, board. You start hearing phrases like, "We ran the numbers, the model says," and that's the end of the conversation. You can confront a bad boss. You can't cross-examine a black box dashboard your boss hides behind. And deep down you suspect this model learned from the same biased history as the people who bought it, just wrapped in math and charts. That's the real risk. Automated power in a lab coat with less visible accountability than before. By the time anyone says AI CEO out loud, you've already been reporting to its shadow for years. Right now, your CEO is at least a name and a face. Legally, they can be shamed, sued, fired, or subpoenaed. Imperfect, but there's a target. Add an AI decision layer, and the responsibility trail smears fast. When a system orders mass layoffs, denies services, or green lights a harmful strategy, who is actually on the hook? The board that approved deploying it? The vendor that sold it? The team who trained it on messy, biased data? Or does everyone shrug? The algorithm did it. We've patched that in version 2.0. We already recognize this pattern in weapons guidance that malfunctions, social feeds that radicalize and harass, automated hiring that quietly screens out entire groups. Real damage, real people. Then a report, a patch, and the news cycle moves on. Your unease is logical. It's the fear of unaccountable systems that powerful humans can hide behind. You end up with a throne that rules your paycheck and healthcare, but no one clearly sitting in it. Without explicit rules, AI at the top becomes a liability shell game. Everyone enjoys the upside. No one volunteers for the downside. We like the story where elite executives are terrified of being automated. Look at incentives instead. If you're a wealthy founder and you can keep your equity and voting control, install AI to run most operations, and live wherever you want while the system runs the company, are you resisting that or quietly funding it? For owners, an AI executive layer looks like a lifestyle upgrade. Similar or higher profits, fewer scandals and messy personalities, a clean excuse when workers suffer. That's what the model optimized for. Your fear of job loss and their dream of effortless ownership point in the same direction. Owners don't have to be victims of automation. They can be its best customers, as long as ownership rules never change. So if this is the direction the tide is pulling, what can you actually do? You can't personally veto an AI CEO experiment, but you're not stuck watching the movie. Here are 4 concrete levers. 1. Ask specific questions at work. Where are AI systems already involved in major decisions? Hiring, performance, pay, scheduling, safety. Who signs their name on the final call when the model is wrong? 2. Tie AI to human responsibility. When you vote, donate, or advocate, back rules that say, if a company delegates power to AI, identifiable humans at the top stay legally and financially responsible. No, the algorithm made us do it. 3. Choose places that use AI as a tool, not a ruler. Worker-owned firms, smaller companies, and ethical startups can use AI under clear guardrails. Where you work, what you buy, and what you share all send market signals. 4. Stay literate enough to call bluff. Learn what today's AI can and cannot do. That way, the model says so can't be used as a magic spell to justify every harsh decision. This isn't really about whether AI would make better CEOs. You already know what bad human ones look like. The real question is, when power gets encoded into software, do you still have any way to push back? If this reframed how you see your own leadership, or your future one, send it to the person you vent to about work and ask them, if the 80-inch dashboard showed up in your office tomorrow, Would that be an upgrade? Or would it be unstoppable?